Our simulation will be at the Great Exhibition Road Festival in Exhibition Road, South Kensington, on the 6th and 7th of June 2026. In preparation for this, we are adding 3D models of the majority of the remaining sculptures in the transept and nave. The creation of these models is being supported by the Royal Commission for the Exhibition of 1851. The third batch of 10 of these models are included in this update. The Suppliant by Henry Weeks is the first of these, joining this group of 4 by Weeks. Now we cross the transept towards the British nave, turning to look towards the crystal fountain. The model of the crystal fountain has been improved to better match this contemporary photograph. Note around the base it reads, Follett and Clarkson Osler, 44 Oxford Street, London. We now turn north along the west side of the transept. Here are 2 new 3D models. On the left is the creation of Adam by Edward James Physick. On the right is Murder of the Innocents by Peter Hollins. Moving slightly further north, we come to Samson Bursting His Bonds by James Legrew. We now pass in front of John Hancock's display of stuffed birds to reach the east side of the transept. This is Youthful Athlete by Edward Richardson. Turning south, we move back towards the crystal fountain, then turn east along the foreign nave. We pass the gilded cage containing the Koh-i-Noor diamond, the tinaya, or wine jar from La Mancha, Domenico Moglia's micro-mosaics, the colossal zinc statue of Queen Victoria and the Ducroquet organ, before passing into the Belgium section and passing the colossal statue of Godefroy de Bouillon. Here on the south side of the nave is Canadian Woman Lamenting Her Child by Leonard De Cuyper. Turning and facing northeast we see Binding Mazeppa to a Horse by Giuseppe Pierotti, which tells the story of how a jealous husband punished Mazeppa on his discovery of an affair. A short distance further east along the nave is Two Girls Fishing, also known as Sister Anglers, by Raffaele Monti. We continue moving east, passing the enclosure for Giuseppe Bettini's Dante window, through the Zollverein section passing the Amazon and Tiger, and the Colossal Lion, arriving at the Denmark section. This is Oreste by Herman Wilhelm Bissen, which is now at the Glyptoteket Museum, Copenhagen. Turning to the south we find the last of the new 3D sculpture models for this update, Fisherboy Angling, also by Bissen. A slightly different version of this piece is at the Glyptoteket Museum, Copenhagen. In that version the stick he holds is shorter, and the cloth draped over the trunk by his right hip lays differently. We now move back into the Zollverein section, towards the Octagon Room, passing the Sonneberg model of Castle Rosenau. From here we turn back and look up towards the gallery, where we can see the newly added model of the organ by Johann Friedrich Schulze. This watercolor by Joseph Nash shows the same view, from which it can be seen to closely resemble the organ at the Church of St. Peter and Paul, in Molschleben, Gotha, Thuringia. This model is based upon the Molschleben organ. We now cross the nave again, returning towards the Denmark section, and taking the stairs to the gallery. At the top of the stairs we turn west towards the organ. Here we can mount the stairs in front of the organ to examine the keyboard, stops, and pedals. Don't forget the simulation can now be downloaded from Steam. It is free of charge, and always will be. Although best when used with a VR headset, if you don't have a headset it will also work in desktop mode, using your monitor, keyboard and mouse.